We doing this thing, right?
Yeah.
No turning back.
Pass it over to her. Hi, we're on. Okay. So,
Just waiting for people to join us.
see y'all.
Let's see, can I share it?
Hi, Destiny Martino. All right. So here we are. We're saying hello. We're just kind of chilling as we wait for our lovely guests to come on in. David Hamilton again. I think David Hamilton gets a prize for attending every single webinar.
David,
Oh, wow.
you get a prize, and so do a few others. Thank you for joining again.
What's the prize, Adria?
We have to think about that.
Mhm.
Something good. Something good.
Something, well, not something, the prize shouldn't be something bad, right? It
No.
obviously should be good.
How about everyone tells you your acting is amazing every single time you do anything?
You're going to follow the person around and tell them they're amazing.
I'm just going to be a little clapper behind. David, you're awesome. Is that good?
Tommy's going to put him in a film.
Tommy's and then Reginald's going to write it. Reginald and Tommy are going to write it. Deanna's going to raise money for
Love
it.
David. I've coached him before. He's my friend.
There you
Oh,
go.
cool. Cool. All right. Yay.
I was trying to share it. It was acting funny, so I'll just wait.
Oh, he said hi. See, if we promise to follow someone around their whole life and tell them they're wonderful every day, they say hi to us. That's
Hey.
That's good. Thanks for the hi.
That's awesome. Well, do you guys want to kind of get going?
Yeah, should we?
After sit? I think so. Yeah, people are coming in.
Seems
Let's
good.
do it.
Let's do it.
We like to start on time. We don't like to hold the house, you know, as they say.
I don't know what else.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rachel Patterson, and I am the director of Acting Studio Chicago. Thank you so much for joining us. And I know for many of you, thank you so much for joining us again. We've been learning a lot and having some fun and some meaningful discussions on all of these webinars. So again, thank you to Adria Dawn for helping to organize and put together today such an awesome panel of guests. Adria is going to talk about what the theme of this specific webinar is, and she's going to introduce our wonderful guests today, Deanna, Tommy, and Reginald. So I just want to say thank you very much on behalf of Acting Studio Chicago. Thank you so much for coming. Everybody out there, the studio is doing well. We've got our classes online, and if you have any questions, just shoot us an email. We are so happy to answer any questions about how we're doing things these days. And that's about it. So anyway, I'm excited to watch this and hear what you all have to say. Again, thank you for your time and your energy and your inspiration. And I'm going to sign off now and pass the virtual torch over to Miss Adria Dawn. All right. Have a great discussion, guys. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me again. Jammy Jam episode 9. We are at episode 9, you guys. So this one is creating art in times of crisis. It's a big topic, right? And we are in crisis. Documenting our world right now is important. It always has been. Documenting or creating in whatever ways that means to each of us. I'm talking about the need to create something in response to what's happening now, how we're feeling now. And this feeling is sitting with many of us in our hearts and in our minds. You know, whether it's creating work to escape or to educate, to understand, to uplift, to include, or simply to entertain. My guests tonight are doing just that. They're helping to keep creativity and stories moving forward, and they're helping to keep voices heard. So I'm really excited to have each of them tonight. It's gonna be good, a good show tonight. I'm gonna be showing clips and websites and photos from our guests' work. So stay with us, okay? And if you have any questions, again, put them in the Q&A section of the webinar. Thank you. So who are my incredible guests, my friends? First up, I have Deanna Reed Foster. She's a native Chicagoan. Deanna worked the 9-to-5 the majority of her life, and I love her story. She took a leap of faith and she made the plunge into being a full-time artist in 2013. And I think she made the right decision. I mean, you might recognize her from her role as Tina Cantrell on NBC's Chicago Fire for 3 seasons, including a crossover episode on PD. She's been in several big movies, you guys, including South Side with You, Widows, Last Flag Flying, where she played opposite Lawrence Fishburne, Bryan Cranston, and Steve Carell. Do you know who those people are? Because I do. Deanna was also the director and producer of the Quarantine Diaries, a benefit for the Actors Fund that I watched when it first launched May 9th during COVID-19. Thank you, Deanna, for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Next up, we have Tommy Sigmon. Tommy's a Chicago-based screenwriter. He's the managing director of the Chicago Screenwriting Network, and he also directs his own scripts as Lomai. He's one of the members of the Paradigm Group, a group of Black filmmakers who produced the no-budget sci-fi anthology Paradigm Gray. He's also prepping a horror anthology series called Terror Time. And he's also my friend, and we've made films together and plays together. And he's been a great guest at Acting Studio Chicago for me many times. So thank you, Tommy, for being here. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Last but not least, we have Reginald Edmund. He's currently the founder and managing curating producer for Black Lives, Black Words International Project. He's a resident playwright at Tamasha Theatre in London, England, and an alumni resident playwright at Chicago Dramatists, as well as an artistic associate at Pegasus Theatre in Chicago, to name a few, you guys, to name a few. His play Southbridge was runner-up for the Kennedy Center's Lorraine's Hansberry and Rosa Parks National Playwriting Awards, and most recently named winner of the Southern Playwrights Competition, the Black Theatre Alliance Award for Best New Play, and the Edgerton Foundation New American Play Award. Wow, you guys. And I met Reginald years ago. I was in a reading of his play Blackula, so it's really good to see you again, and thank you so much for being here with us, Reginald.
Oh, it's a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, okay, you guys, thank you for listening and participating. Give me your questions, and we're gonna get this rolling. I'm gonna start with Deanna. I guess, sorry, Deanna, I keep saying it wrong, Deanna.
That's okay, thank you.
So you guys listening, I was floored when I found out how much the Quarantine Diaries actually has made for the Actors
You were
Fund.
floored.
Girl, anybody want to take a guess? Just, what do you think? Like, anybody out there want to take a guess? I'll look in the Q&A. How much money has the Quarantine Diaries made? Anybody? 20 bucks? No. A quarter? No. Deanna, how much money?
Somebody
Lot.
said a lot. Somebody said 65,000.
What do you think? Catherine Lofton said 65,000. What is it, Deanna?
It's up to 85,000 now. It was 65 when we first checked, which was 2 weeks. We
Wow.
raised $65,000 in 2 weeks.
Deanna, that is crazy. That is
crazy.
wonderful. I mean, that is some major magic. I mean,
That's all we could say. Major magic.
It's major magic, and it's got to feel really, really good, right?
It does. It
Yeah.
does, especially when this sounds really like cliche, but especially because it's not for me, right? So
Right.
It's not like I'm like, hey, I'm fat, yeah. It's not that at all, right? It's that all of this is for everyone else, including me, because I am an artist, because it all went to the Actors Fund. But that's a different kind of peace and a different kind of joy when you know you're giving. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Can you tell us quickly about the Actors Fund?
Sure, the Actors Fund is not just for actors. It sounds a bit misleading. It's for anyone in entertainment. And they have all type of services, social services, help you pay your rent services, help you find a place to live services. And when we spoke to them, they had given away more in 30 days than they usually give away in a year.
Wow.
And so they were in need of funds because, as you know, we're all like out of work. So we thought it was just a great place to give to because we knew, for one, that the money would be used, and it would be used by people who look like us, people who have hearts like us, who have passions like us. So yeah.
Excellent. That's wonderful. I read that you and the other producer of the Quarantine Diaries, Barbara Hobart, that I read that you guys saw a video and it cracked you up and it inspired you to make the Quarantine Diaries.
It did. I'd have to say Barbara was the one who really was pushing it. The video we saw was hilarious, and she was like, hey, you have to meet her to know her personality. But she's like, hey, let's do this. Let's do it. And we can, and let's do it. And I was like, oh, okay. And so we got together and made it happen. It was her idea to get 11 writers together, give them a prompt, gave them the prompt, gave them 72 hours to write a monologue. We then gathered 11 actors to do those monologues. And so we really did it in about 10 to 14 days and then rolled it out live. And because everything was quarantined, all of the actors self-taped at home, you know, sent them in to me. And then, Lord, I spent so much time editing, which I won't do again. Praise God for professional editors, huh?
Yes,
Lord,
exactly.
But whatever, you do what you got to do, right?
Yes.
And we dropped it live in a Facebook Live event, and people loved it.
Well, I think it's so accessible.
That's
I think
amazing.
it's so accessible. And, you know, we're talking about creating art in times of crisis. And it really just takes that one person, like your friend Barbara, to go, we got to do this. And then it motivates, and then enthusiasm and creativity grows. That's what's so exciting with artists. It can be, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we do have a clip that we're going to show everybody from the Quarantine Diaries. I love this monologue. You guys know I like some funny, but I also like the truth in the funny. So why don't you, we're going to play it for you. It might be a little delayed or a little glitchy because we know how Zoom goes, but we're going to play it. It's about 4 minutes long. Deanna, can you set this up for us?
Sure. This is written by Shariba Rivers. She is a teacher here in Chicago, and it's performed by Sydney Charles, who is everything here in Chicago, right? So putting the two of them together was like magic. And once you see it, I think you'll agree.
Okay, here we go. Getting it set up here. Playing.
Quarantine, day 5, Chicago, 2020. If there's one thing this thing has taught us, it is to wash our hands and maybe wipe our ass. I mean, why else would all the toilet tissue be gone? The other thing it's taught us, and by us I mean me. Hi, Denise, your child's teacher, trapped in this motherfucking home office with y'all's kids on this goddamn computer. The other thing it's taught us is that we need real classrooms because your children need to get away from you. You are the goddamn problem. Yes, I do have a teacher voice. This ain't it. See, your kids are working in virtual groups while I talk to y'all. So real quick before I have to go back, y'all are not helping like at all. Like, hold on. I am checking back in with you in 2 minutes. The expectation is an extended metaphor using this week's vocabulary words. Sorry, one of your children had a question. Nope, don't you go and help them because your answers are wrong. And if they're not wrong, they're so right that I know good and hell well that your child did not do his own work. Do you really think that I'm that stupid that I don't know who your child is? I've sat with that mumbling motherfucker for an entire 6 months in my class. You really expect me to believe that mumbles all of a sudden is speaking in complete sentences with correct pronunciation and using phrases like pregnant with anticipation in her writing? Who the fuck you think you're dealing with? Sorry, one sec. Yes, we did talk about extended metaphors. Someone in your group has been assigned the role of researcher. Have them look it up. I see group 3 has moved on to the discussion questions. Nice analogy. Grade 1. All right, I'm back. Where was I? Oh yeah. Pregnant with anticipation. Look. All we need from you is your support. Get your kids to class on time. Make them do their assignments. We don't care if they're wrong. That's where the learning comes in. We don't need to know how smart you are. You should have proved that when you were in school. Don't come writing your essays now. Get Monique to the damn computer and let us take it from there. You got it? You got it? Good. Shit. Man, my timer went off. I gotta get back to your kids. Yeah. I gotta get back to your kids. You go put some motherfucking clothes on. Shit, I wouldn't even have to see all that if we went to school. Jesus.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my God. That is so good, right? Woo!
Oh, Lord, that's so funny to me.
It's so funny, you know, and that's what I mean, it's so relatable because like we're all like, I'm a mom with my 11-year-old, you know, like everyone knows what's going on and she's actually saying it, you know what I mean? That was excellent performance by her.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, excellent performance, excellent writing.
Excellent writing, so active. That writing is so active. I love it.
People been trying to steal it too. And I'm like, yeah, I can't give that away, baby. That ain't mine to give it nobody.
Okay, so did you encounter any obstacles when you made the show, or was there like a teachable moment for you?
One of the obstacles was really trying to have all of the actors do these tapes at home and getting them to me. And then what would the quality be once they got here? And so editing was difficult because there were sound issues, trying to make sure all of the sound, that the level was correct, you know, for all of them. So I would say that was the most difficult part doing the editing. And because, come on, we don't have no money right now. So it wasn't like I could afford no editor. So we just made it work. And but I will say that I learned so much.
Yes.
And even this has sparked something in me. Doing this sparked something in me. So I'm so appreciative of Barbara for even bringing me in on this, that it showed me things that I could do that I didn't even know I could do.
Yes, I love that. And that's important when you are creating art. Like so many times we say, well, oh, we can't do this. We can't do this. We don't have the resources. We don't have the money. It's too big. I can't, but when we do say yes, you
make it happen. You make it happen.
$85,000 later, girl.
It even inspired me so that I'm doing something else now for, in regards to my people and the civil unrest and everything that's going on and equality for us. And so,
what is it? Can you talk about it?
It's a 3-part video series called I'm Tired. And it's actually going to be a fundraiser to help raise funds to rebuild the parts of the South and West Sides that have been devastated by the civil unrest.
Great. See, do you think you would have done that without doing the Quarantine Diaries?
No, I wouldn't have thought I was capable of doing it. That's just the truth of the matter. So anybody who knows me knows that my faith is first and foremost in my life. And I feel like that God used this to show me even part of the trajectory of my career. I never saw myself as a producer. I know that I direct, I do that. And I know that I'm an actor, but I never saw myself as a producer. And I was able to see myself, thank God for Barbara, who is a producer, having me there and even showing me, taking me under her wing to show me things. But yeah, man, it's opened a whole nother side of my brain and creativity. And it's, yeah.
I love that. Well, will you keep us posted on your project?
Absolutely. It'll be dropping. I'm going to let y'all know.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. And thank you
you
for sharing. And thanks for all the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to go to Tommy next. Okay, so we're talking about creating art in times of crisis. And I just have to say that in Tommy's case, I really feel like the talk could be called Creating Work Every Minute, Every Second of Your Life. Because I was telling people that I've known Tommy for about 10 years now. And as long as I've been knowing you, you've always been creating, like whether it's writing or film or music or being a part of the Chicago Screenwriting Network. It's just, I mean, you guys, he has so many featured scripts he's written. He has so much of a body of work. So I'm just excited to have you here because I feel like you're such an artistic machine in creating work. Like, what inspires you to keep making so many different things?
Well, in reality, you end up having to kind of get things out because my problem, and again, this isn't like, I don't want to sound like I'm somebody big or anything, but I do get bombarded with ideas, and it's not a very you would think that it would be a good thing, but it isn't, because you have to, you've got this idea, and then you thinking about that, and then this thing comes, and this thing, and this thing, and all of a sudden you've got 20 different things that you want to do, and you're still trying to get the first thing done. So it to kind of keep the monster at bay, so to speak, you just got to kind of go down and try to finish stuff. Like I try to finish that so I can go on to the next thing and finish this.
Wow.
So yeah, just trying to stay ahead of stuff so that I don't get bogged down, with any like one thing, because you never know what's gonna kind of take off. So
you have the opposite of writer's block, Tommy. Writer's traffic.
Well, it's kind of a necessity. Like, again, and I'm not even trying to sound like I'm the greatest or whatever, but it really is kind of a problem. Like it ends up, it's just too much. Like you get this, and then I got 5 ideas spring out of it. So it's kind of pinning that stuff down and trying to make sure that you're working on the one thing and that gets done, so that it's not too scattered.
I got you. Yeah. I can relate on finishing things for sure as a filmmaker.
Yeah, I try to finish stuff. Like I want to finish it, and then But yeah, it's I don't know. I do kind of jump around a little bit, but I try to jump around with like a strategy as opposed to just jumping around.
Yeah.
Haphazardly. Like I try to jump around with a set goal in mind.
Great. I love that the Paradigm Group formed and created Paradigm Gray. I feel like it's a really much needed platform for Black filmmakers who love sci-fi. Can you talk to us about how that came about? Talk to us about the project a little bit.
Yeah, that was Chris Adams. He came to us with the idea of Black filmmakers doing a sci-fi anthology, either like a TV show or a series of movies. And then so we ended up, and we didn't have any money per se. They are effects guys, so we had a couple of effects things that we could do because the guys do effects already. But even then, we didn't have like a whole bunch of money to even do that, But yeah, we came together and everybody kind of went off and did their segment, and then we brought them all together and put them together as a film. And then
a collection of directors, a collection of shorts.
Yeah, that's the plan. Like like we'd either want to keep it like an anthology or maybe turn it into like a series where we could do, maybe 30-minute to an hour episodes. But it would be, Black directors doing sci-fi and horror and stuff like that. So
I love that. And you guys, I'm going to show you this totally dope trailer for it, and you're going to be like, what? Because the effects are so great, and I can't imagine what you'd be able to do with a budget. I mean, the fact that there's no budget.
We had no money,
It looks so good. I'm so excited to show you. So, but hold on. So I'm going to play the clips back to back because they're shorter. So tell me about your other, this other clip, Terror Times.
Oh yeah, that's not necessarily Paradigm. That was an idea that I had.
Okay.
That kind of sprang from that. It's like, oh, I can do like a more like a horror-based anthology. But the thing too that's really cool is that it's a Black hairdresser.
Yes.
And she's the kind of the anchor character between the stories, because she's basically telling people stories while they're getting their hair done, and they're in this hair shop. And she's got 2 co-workers, and they're much more than what they seem to be. But yeah, in between hair appointments, she's telling these stories and stuff. So
and it spawns a new episode.
Yeah, we just did a proof of concept trailer just to kind of show people visually what it could potentially be.
Sonia Hayes is great in it. She's a great actor, local. So I'm excited to show you guys that. Okay, are you ready to see these, you guys?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get it done. Hold on, we're gonna do Paradigm Gray first.
Okay.
Doing a little technical magic here.
All right.
All right. Can you? Wow. Okay, we'll show Terror Time too, but wow.
Okay. Yeah. It was cool. We screened the film a couple of times too. So and it's been really a cool thing. So
it looks
definitely really cool, and it should be coming out like really soon. Actually, we're in the stages. We're actually going to put it out ourselves. So it should be coming out really, really soon. Yep.
I can't wait. Here's the other one. Here's Terror Time.
They come to me from all walks of life, eager to change something about themselves on the outside. But it's what lies on the inside that allows me to give them the physical change they seek. You see, they don't just leave my shop with a new hairstyle. Honey, they leave my shop with understanding. They can choose to benefit from this understanding or be destroyed by it. It makes no difference to me. I've always been here, longer than you can imagine. If you didn't know my name before, allow me to tell it to you now. I'm Tara.
Yes. This is
Yeah,
so great, right,
yeah.
you guys?
Yeah, to you.
Her name is yeah, her name in the thing is, her name is Tara, so we call it Tara every time. But yeah, her name's Tara Barristow. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both great. First of all, you guys, the production value on Paradigm Gray is amazing, right? And what I loved about it is that there's so many African American Black artists in it, directed by Black artists. I think it's just really important. And also, I love, Tommy, that you're totally into sci-fi and horror. I think it's so great to be so genre based, you know?
Yeah, we do it. And then not even just we want to do Black focused stuff, but then we also just want to do regular. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be, like, it just is a horror film and it's not necessarily a Black horror. But we also want to do Black horror. Like, we can kind of switch in between that type of stuff too. So it's like very, you can be very versatile in the genres and stuff like that. So it's gonna be fun.
So tell us about so this is a collection of shorts, Paradigm Gray.
Yeah.
And yours is, I went to the first like huge, beautiful premiere of it a while ago, and yours was Outer Layers, correct?
Yeah.
And why don't you tell our listeners, our viewers, what that short's about?
Oh, well, it's it's about two brothers and their father, and one of the brothers went missing. He's been missing for about 3 years, and the brother who's missing is a genius, and him and his father have kind of the same ideological kind of they agree on ideology. They're very pro-Black, and meanwhile the other brother, who's the main protagonist of the film, is more of a corporate type, and he wants his father to declare him dead because he's been gone for so long, but his father's like, no, he's still alive. And then the corporate brother ends up getting a package from his other sibling, and it's a package of pills. And his brother tells him to, he basically tells him that he's alive and to take one of the pills. So he does take the pill, and then the next day he wakes up as a white man. So basically, what's happened is that the genius brother has invented a nanotechnology cloak that can disguise people, that basically can turn your skin to a different color. It's basically a camouflage that they were developing for the army, and he brought in melanin into the equation, which kind of perfected it. But he had to go on the run because they didn't want a Black man like inventing this thing. So he's been hiding away in secret, and then he ends up coming back. The genius brother ends up coming back as a white man as well, and it basically ends up kind of tearing their family apart. Like, it's kind of like the final straw, like that kind of tears their whole thing apart. This kind of past thing and stuff. So all in the space of 20 minutes.
Yeah, but you have a lot of story that you get through in that short, and what I love is how you film the shots. Like, you see him walking in and getting said no to, applying for a job as a Black man. Then
we follow it from his perspective. Like, he's trying to find a job and he's getting rejected, and he tries to go on a date and the girl rejects him. But when he comes back as the white man, things kind of open up for him. But it also ends up being the catalyst to kind of push their family apart for the final time. Like, he has to end up making like a choice, a really bad choice actually, or he could make, choose one path or the other, like based on his father, and the hurt from the past is kind of like too much. So there were people mad at the screening because of that choice. Actually, there was a couple people who came up to me, was like, he shouldn't have did that,
Oh.
I'm sorry.
You know what? I always say, like, with my own work, I want you to like love me or hate me. I don't want to be forgettable, right, you guys? Yeah. So I love the perspective. I think it's so relevant and right now to have this? Like, how can, you just said that it might be coming out soon. I know that our watchers are going to want to see it. How can they see it?
We're trying to, the thing that we've been trying to do is like to keep control of it. Like the film's been finished, but it's been a question, like we didn't want to go to a distributor and give up rights. So we've been trying to find like a proper deal, and it just doesn't kind of seem to be out there, or at least people don't, I personally believe like we've been kind of experiencing a kind of a racism. Like I think if we were white, we would have been given a blank check, you know, I really do. Like, I mean, because we did this all on our own, and
it's great.
People have gotten stuff for way less, like a lot of like creators have gotten stuff for way less. So we have figured out a way to put it out ourselves, you know, but we just didn't want to give up like control and just kind of put it out on a deal. Like a lot of these distributors are doing, they're doing really bad deals. You know, there's some distributors that are doing good ones, but you have to do your research. A lot of stuff is really, you know, there are distributors that are asking for like 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. You know, it's just like really ridiculous that the film be tied up with this distributor. And so we figured out a way to put it out. So we're just I'm trying to wait on Chris to see when it'll be ready. But we're hopefully it'll be sometime this month or July. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
Well, let us know, because that's great. And you also work with the Chicago Screenwriters Network. Can you tell us about that and how people might want to get involved, how they could if they wanted to?
Yeah, we basically, I mean, before the COVID and quarantine, we would meet every month at Miss Murphy's Irish Bistro, and then people can join. Our website's been revamped, so you can join through the website now. And we basically do kind of like this, where we talk to screenwriters on different aspects. Like we try to, what we've been doing lately is like we'll either have a guest or we'll do some type of workshop. And then we've been doing actor-writer meetups. We were gonna do the actor-writer collaboration, where we were gonna have actors and writers meet up and they compose a scene and then come back and perform it. We did that last year to really good success, but this year, again, with all the COVID stuff, we've been having to stay online, but we'll hope to be back live. We're thinking like in September, but right now we've been doing like a lot more Zoom stuff like this, and it's been really working actually. But people, they can join through the site.
It's at ChicagoScreenwritersNetwork.org.
ChicagoScreenwriters.org. They can go there and join. You can join up for like 1 year. People can also donate and stuff too if they want to. Like what we've been doing is having the Zoom meetings. People can volunteer to donate if they want to, and that's been going actually surprisingly well too. So we're gonna keep this aspect even as we start going back to our regular meetings. Like we'll keep this aspect of doing the online stuff, and then we've also going to continue our partnership with 2112. We just haven't been able to exploit it because all this stuff kind of fell down before we were able to do it. But we're partnered up with them too, and we're going to be doing events with them at 2112. So
great.
You get a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah, you do, you guys. It's great. I've been to several of those.
Yeah.
So do you have any words of wisdom you want to share with us about creating work or getting a project off the ground? Any like things that have helped you?
Not to wait, I would say. I wouldn't wait on anybody. You know, I mean, it's hard to do it with no budget, but I'd rather, I don't think we have to ask people anymore. I mean, the Hollywood thing is one thing, and that's one way to do stuff, but you have to sacrifice a lot to go the Hollywood route. Like you sacrifice a lot of control and then a lot of time. But I think with the way that the industry is going, you can produce things on your own. And I think people have to be proud of the stuff that they produce, even though that they may not have like, you know, $1 million to make it. Like you still have to be proud of it. I mean, you could still make the film and have the good sound, like she was saying, like you can do that yourself. You know, you can make sure your sound is good and make sure, you know, that doesn't take as much money as it just takes dedication. But I think people need to get in the habit of doing for themselves and not waiting on the industry to come for them. yeah, that's what I would say.
Great. Well, thank you so much. And, keep us posted on your stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Also, too, I just want to say that Tommy's a really great connector. He's always, part of, I think, the game here in making your own stuff is showing up to different events and going to things and showing up for people's events. And you're great at that. And I think that's
I like to see stuff too. I like, the quarantine diaries. You have to watch other people's stuff too. You just can't watch your own stuff. You gotta watch, you gotta watch other people's, because other people have different perspectives and they got different things to offer. It's not just you. And then, that those connections can make a third connection.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's what, it just can't be all about you all the time. Like you have to show up as much as you can for other people.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tommy. Okay, we've got Reginald up next. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm here. I'm super honored to be in this mix.
Well, I'm so happy to have you. First off, I was looking all over the website for, what a wonderful platform you've created for Black writers with Black Lives, Black Words. It's really incredible. And I was reading it. Did you start that in 2015?
Yeah, 2014, 2015, yeah.
Tell us about what it is.
So, I would say that Black Lives, Black Words is activist theater at its very core, right? I think that's what we are in the truest sense of the word. We started off in 2015, 2014, me and my partner and now wife and co-founder, Haj Dalloways, we worked together on this. So we started off, I was a playwright in the city of Chicago, and I still am, right? And for me, as all these events were taking place with Trayvon Martin and Sandra Bland and Michael Brown, and the list goes on and on and on, I felt this really strong need and desire to speak out and have my voice heard. And there wasn't a lot of opportunities for Black playwrights to speak out.
Yeah.
There wasn't. If you got to go through a gatekeeper, this theater got to approve you to do this thing, you got to go, et cetera, right? And so I was getting really frustrated, and I began to wonder how many other Black theater makers are also feeling that exact same way, right? And so we started off here in Chicago at the Greenhouse Theater, and we rocked it. We fire hazard the hell out of the Greenhouse Theater. We brought together Congo Square, ETA, Impact, Black Ensemble, Pegasus Theater, all came together and helped make this one event that was a moment of healing. The several 10-minute plays put together, all speaking to the very issues about what it is to be Black in America and Chicago, et cetera, right? And so from there, we got super bold. We saw that it worked here, and we were like, who else needs to have their voice heard? So we took it over to London, right? The Bush Theater over there. And we partnered with Artistic Directors of the Future and an organization there, which my wife runs. And we put it up there at the Bush Theater, and we fire hazard the hell out of the Bush Theater. And so we got even bigger, and we went even bolder. And so we called up the Guthrie Theater, the big blue IKEA theater of America, right? And we said, hey, we're gonna do Black Lives, Black Words. We are either gonna do it in your front lawn, in the front part, or you can invite us in. And so they allowed us in, and we fire hazard the hell out of one of the biggest theaters in the country. And so we kept building and building and building and building, and we kept going. And so far now we've served 2 continents, 3 countries, 9 cities. We've gone to 4 colleges and universities all across the country. We're trying to expand out into the UK. We've worked with over 150 playwrights and over 300 artists from all over the globe. And most recently, we did the I Am Fest at the Goodman Theater, which was a 3-day celebration of women of color in arts, activism, and leadership. And we had panel discussions, readings of classical plays from Black women writers from the US, the UK, and also from South Africa. And then on top of that, we did our signature Black Lives, Black Words showcase, which was produced by, directed by, written by entirely Black women. And then we closed out by putting 100 Black women, women of color, onto the Goodman Theater stage, performing the transcript of Sandra Bland's arrest. And it was...
Wow.
It was powerful.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You
yeah.
saw Deanna. Wow.
And so now we're expanding out even more. And so we're like, who else isn't having their voices heard? Who else needs to speak, have a platform to do the work that is necessary? And so now we're expanded out. We're about to, before this whole COVID pandemic was about to take place, we were about to do a global commissioning initiative, which would have taken 10 Black playwrights from around the globe, provided them with the opportunity to workshop, develop, and eventually partner with theaters from all across the globe.
Wow.
To do, everybody talks about rolling world premiere, but you know that usually looks like 2 cities in the U.S. over here and over there, right? But what we were going to do was what we are going to do as soon as this pandemic is over, thank you, is we're going to do rolling global premieres, which is going to have Black playwrights having their voices heard on stages simultaneously in different parts of the freaking world.
Wow.
And
that's
then,
amazing.
and then, but right now what we're doing is we're doing this online season called Plays for the People.
So I want to pull that flyer up. Man, you are not playing. You are not playing, Reginald. I love how you just grow and grow. So I'm going to go to, so I'm going to show some pictures now of Reginald and his wife in action. So here, can you tell us what we're looking at here?
So this is the circle up that we did at the Goodman Theater with my wife, Sim. She is an incredible visionary, absolute visionary. So she is a director, one of the foremost Black theater practitioners in the UK,
wow.
Black play specialist in the UK. On top of that, she runs 2 companies as well. One is called Artistic Directors of the Future, which is all about providing platforms for artists of color to eventually rise into artistic leadership positions. And then also she has a company called Beyond the Canon, which is all about providing the opportunity for university and college students to receive training and experience Black plays from the literary canon.
Yeah, I love that educational, like that's really exciting to me that you have go into colleges with this program. I think it's great. I'm gonna here you guys are again in the same circle, or?
This is right after we put up 100 women onto the Goodman stage, and we talked about the vision and the meaning of why this is so important and the fact that we created history in this moment.
Excellent.
That's her, and that's Majasala Adebayo, who is the transcriber of Sandra Bland's arrest. who helped put this together, and that's Sim directing the play.
Wow.
This is me at Northern Colorado University, working with various students as they did a workshop. And I also teach this workshop called Playwriting as Activism. And this is the after the mix.
Excellent.
And that's me desperately in need of a shave. Doing a workshop in Atlanta.
Got you. So yeah, talk to us about your upcoming project.
Yeah, so our newest project is Plays for the People, which is basically an online play season. Each of these plays takes place is live streamed to an audience's computers around the world for a week-long period. And each play is done for a week, approximately a week. I wanted to make sure that everything we included, how should I say? I wanted to make sure that we included some of the masters of the game. So we have Dominic Taylor, who was one of the greatest playwrights Black playwrights of the 90s. And he was rising up and he was about to become artistic director of Penumbra Theater in Minneapolis. And now he's the head of the University of California, UCLA theater program. I wanted to include Chizza Hutchinson, who is one of our, I would say one of our most important Black female voices, who doesn't get the shine that she truly deserves. We have Idris Goodwin, who is one of the hot kids of our decade, you know. I wanted to make sure that we included two writers who are up and coming. So I have Anya Pearson and Katrina D. Richard, who is based right here in Chicago. An incredible actress and now a playwright, and she's about to explode. I wanted to bring it back to Africa. So we have Wole Ogunku from Nigeria. He's the artistic director of Renegade Theater, and he's also an incredible playwright and director, and just a mind-blowingly huge visionary in Africa, who's just boosting those voices. And then you have charming and adorable me, right?
Yeah, I want to hear about your story, your rideshare.
Yeah. So rideshare was a little bit inspired by my experience as a Uber driver in the past. And then I just wanted to, and how it kind of rips at your soul a little bit. So I wanted to explore that and dwell deep inside of that world of what it's like to be an Uber driver and going through that experience as an African-American in a world where chauffeuring people and looking at how that spins out, looking at how we've oftentimes been the chauffeurs, right? We've been the horse and carriage guy. We've been the jitney driver. So I really looking at all of that, and then I added a little Stephen King twist to it. So it gets a little on the dot. So I think it's something that people will really enjoy, and that's taking place on July 8th through the 12th.
Great. Okay. I'm going to pull up the website, Black Lives, Black Words. But in the meantime, I want our watchers to know that Reginald, you guys, is like a prolific writer, and he has a book of 9 plays about the Black experience. And I just want you to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's called the City of the Bayou Collection. It's 9 plays that span from the transatlantic slave trade all the way to the present day America. And so where this play, these series of plays where one play ends, the next play begins. Where one character is a minor character in one play, they become a major character in the next piece. So this is like just my attempt to create a house of Idris for the Black community. Really looking at the history of the Black community and who we are and the how generational curses occur in our household, but also looking at the hopes and ambitions and all the multitudes of amazing things that we are capable of.
Wow. Reginald, this is really inspiring. This is sort of a generic question, but I want you to answer why should we create art in times of crisis?
I think, I mean, I can only go back to the very roots of what theater and art is, you know? If you look at the art, if you look at playwriting, we are the very epitome, the very core of what we do is we're the griots, right? We're the people who, in times of trials, in times of struggle, we were the ones that told the stories that is necessary for the people to hear in order to push forward and carry on. And so that's what we're really doing, you know? I think the role of a writer, a role of a playwright is to be both, my wife gets annoyed when I say this, but is to be a preacher, a politician, and a prophet. And that's what an artist really is supposed to be, you know, is all of those things rolled up into one. And so when the people need us, when the communities need us, it's our duty to speak out and have our voices heard.
Yeah. Excellent. So when do you guys think you'll be able to get back to in-person stuff? Do you know yet?
You know, soon-ish, I believe. You know, I'm kind of, to be honest, I'm really kind of enjoying the fact that this might sound bad, but I'm really kind of freaking enjoying this whole pandemic shit.
Yeah.
That's because he's a newlywed. He ain't tell you that part.
Yep. Aww.
So, I mean, it gives me the opportunity to focus in on my writing. It gives me the chance to hang out with my wife.
Great.
Yeah, I'm loving this thing. And then the fact of the matter is, it is also these pandemics, these moments of crisis that we're in, it knocks down all these major walls that have been in front of artists for like forever, right?
Yeah.
So now, for the first time in decades, right? It provides artists of all levels, of all experience levels, to be on the exact same playing field with some of these major institutions that have millions and millions of dollars, right?
Yes, yes, I totally agree with that. Yes.
And the fact of the matter is, if you really think about it, these organizations, they don't got the heart like you and I do as individual artists, right? So it's even, the race is on, right? Me as an individual artist, Deanna, Tommy, you, we can all, everybody who's watching this, it puts us on a playing field that we haven't had in a long, long time. They're handicapped. They don't know what the hell to do, right? But we have this opportunity to rock shit out, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And we need to do it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, Reginald, I can't thank you enough for the work that you do. You're helping so many people, all types of people. I mean, giving voice to Black artists, but also like everyone coming to see that and reading it and being a part of it and collectively raising our conscience about the experience. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I feel so incredibly honored to be in this mix. I mean, Tommy, Deanna, you guys are killing it. And I am so proud to be hanging out with you guys.
Oh yeah, likewise, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we got to figure out how to be a part of each other's things, because that's what we put all these things together for.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I definitely would, you know, just as a writer, you know, I mean, the things that you guys are doing, you know, on stage, I'd definitely be interested in doing something like that. And
Most definitely, most definitely.
Collaborate.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. It was. I mean, that's what we need to do. Like, I mean, we all. They keep telling us that that there's no audience for what we do, and we keep seeing the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Real talk.
Yeah. So so that's just the signal to just kind of keep pushing. Yeah, because we know that there's an audience for what we do. I mean, whatever genre it is, like drama, you know what I mean, action, sci-fi, horror, Christian, whatever, LGBTQ. There's an audience on the Black side or brown side. There's an audience for these things, and we know it's there, but yet they, they keep giving the money over here.
Yeah.
So we, what? Fine, we won't go that way. We'll go our way.
Yeah. And I want to say that, like Black Lives, Black Words, we don't depend on any foundations or have any grants or getting, institutional funding or whatever. It's just the people really funding and helping push forward our thing, and saying this is something that we need in these various cities. And so,
where there's a will, there's a way. But I want to talk about that as we end tonight. As we're wrapping up, I'm thinking about all the resource lists and the donation lists that are circling around everywhere right now, as many of us are trying to help support Black Lives Matter. And I want to ask those watching tonight, maybe consider making a local donation, making a donation to Black Lives, Black Words, buying a ticket to Reginald's upcoming reading, or buy his amazing play series. You can also still make a donation to the Quarantine Diaries, or you can look out for Deanna's next project. And you can also donate to the Screenwriters Network.
We're nonprofit, so we're nonprofit, so we need the help.
Think about local, we want to help however we can, but think about your local amazing artists that are doing the groundwork. I'm also thinking about, if these three people did not act on their creative impulses, like what would happen? Like Reginald has literally brought together people over continents, continents. Tommy has worked with hundreds of people and giving so many actors days on set, including me. Deanna has raised so much money for a great cause and pulling people together to raise to use their talents and gifts for the greater good. I mean, you never know what kind of impact you can have on the world unless you try to get your voice and your vision out there. So keep creating. And as we do that, let's keep amplifying and supporting our Black artistic family. I really do want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you, Rachel, our studio director at the Acting Studio Chicago. And thank you guys for watching. That's the wrap, my friends. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care.